everybody, my name is Shady Shadow. We are doing immediate impressions of Sailor Moon Crystal Act 16, The Abduction of Sailor Mercury. Now, before I start, let me just tell you that if you hear a sort of clicking sound that ends up happening, I've been fighting with XSplit all day to try to figure out what's going on with this bug that he usually has, that sometimes it'll just have this sound like a helicopter taking flight, and I'm not sure what it is. It disappeared for now, but it might appear in this particular recording, so if that happens, I apologize. Also, last episode, what I did was to put a little tint on episode 15, and that might have set some people off to watch it, so this time, I'm just going to do the reverse thing, the mirror image thing, and just leave it at that. I'm not going to do anything else with it beyond that. And we're not going to do the cutting in and out thing, and that too just bugged me. So, yeah, we're going to try to keep it as concise as possible in order to skip any of the issues that these types of videos might have. We're still trying to figure out what's going on with Viz Media and Toy Animation. We don't know what's going on there. However, with that having been said, I don't want to ramble too long. So, this is Abduction Sailor Mercury. Last time, we saw that Sailor Mars was abducted when Cone was taken out. She was eradicated. She was defeated. She's dead. She was absolutely murdered. Followed by Rubius taken, of course, Mars to Usagi's chagrin, basically. So now we're going to Sailor Mercury's abduction, of course. And yeah, enough of me talking about this. You probably know what's going to happen here. I have no idea yet. So let's get to the video. Why is she there? Oh, she was here last time, yeah. Have you been spying on us? Have you been stalking us? Wow! Wow, she's quick! What the crap? She's accusing her of being on the Black Moon? So, how did Luna do that? I shouldn't question it because she's a cat, after all. Yeah, she was really tough on her. That's not like Usagi. Wow. That doesn't look like Crystal Tokyo. That looks like the apocalyptic end of days. I'm glad he just has a random Tetsuya Common doll just waiting to be used randomly. I wonder how he got the chance to make it. And she knew he had it! What? That's what Sailor Pluto calls her, and if that's what Sailor Pluto's voice is... Oh, that's cool. I actually like that. If chess didn't confuse me, I would like that. I would actually be right into something like that computerized chess. We're probably soon going to be at that age where we can do that. We're already there in a way. Oh no. Oh no, here comes the jealousy. And the pancakes! We're there! Awkward stare. Awkward stare. Awkward silence. You know, I'm kind of happy that it's, for some reason, it was usually that it was Mamoru who was... What the hell? Was about to say... Why you interrupting me like that? What's with that voice? Holy shit, that is some voice. Bye! Not as though you had to fix it or anything like that. Oh, it's Naru! Been a while since we've seen her. He's talking in those goggles. Holy! Well, that doesn't look in any way suspicious. I see no problem as to her character at all. Not one. Let me guess. Called it! I'm sure you did. Wow, she's angry! Already! Either that or determined. Gamesmanship is on. Holy shit, she is pissed! Look at that face! The hell? What the? Did she just... What? Wow. Wow. Powerful. Yeah? That's gonna change her perception. Awful way to play the game, huh? Wow. Usagi comes through again! Yeah! That's the Usagi we know! Not what we saw earlier. Yeah, Mercury, go for it! Come on! Yeah, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? BAM! Nailed it! Go, come on with your putty monsters, you know you play dirty. What the hell? Ooh. It's a game of StarCraft. Snow? Oh, okay. I want that attack. Nice, we get to see it. It's a nice way to do an attack, too. Spit it out? What? You have her full of water. Your mouth is full of water. You can't even speak to begin with. How do you expect for her to say anything? Ooh, Rubius. Hi. Oh, that face. Yeah, but she is emotionally a wreck. Put it out next episode. They're going back to this. Back to Makoto's. They're going back to Jupiter's so-called boyfriend? Is that what we're doing? Okay, so yeah, after I record this, I'm going to have to find a thumbnail to put on this. It's going to be hard to put a thumbnail to this particular video because, quite frankly, there was a lot of good scenes in this. I really did like how they did Mercury's backstory, the way that they showed Amy sort of being alone, but then she realized that, okay, they didn't leave on bad terms, hurt the father. I'm not completely sure about the whole storyline behind it, but then again, I understood that, okay, Amy's father left, he was a doctor, so he was away a lot, but at the same time, it wasn't like, okay, she was that mad about it. She understood what was going on, so yeah. She was just sad that when he left, but not angry at him. That and the swimming comes a little early if you're not used to the manga. If you are used to the manga, perhaps it came a little early for you guys. Again, not really reading the manga in order to give an interpretation of the actual story. So, from somebody who has never read it before. So, there you go. We got to see Naru again. How long has it been since we actually seen her? I think it might have been a little bit of Act 14, I think, but I can't remember exactly. And Isagi being with goggles and just coming up in from the water. Oh, that was so awesome. I loved that face. I loved that whole face that she made and the image that we got out of that. The actual scene of Mercury and or Amy being alone and all that stuff. That was one of the few times I don't know if you saw it in the actual reaction, but I did get a little choked up. It was a little bit emotional for me since, yeah, one of the sailors that many people like. A lot of Sailor Moon fans love her. I'm not on particular love fest, but I do enjoy her character. She is a tremendous character because she is... I'm not sure how to say this in a way that doesn't sound really off, but she is a really nice character. She is very likable. Let's put it that way. She's very likable. She's very real. She is very kind. And yeah, I think that's the best way to put it. She's very likable. So a lot of people do enjoy her character. I gravitated more toward Ray. She was really kick-ass and fire and brimstone, stuff like that. And then obviously Pluto, you know what I feel about her. But I can see the appeal of Amy. I can see why people gravitate toward her. She has the emotional connect that people have with her. And this really showed. I was the first time I was really moved by the episode. And moved as in I was getting a little emotional by it. Because as somebody who doesn't really get that emotional toward any show, doesn't really get moved to the point where you almost are starting to get tears in your eyes, that really is something. When the show can do that to somebody who usually does not get that emotional, I'm more like, what? What the hell? Well, they did that or something like that. But to have it actually move you like that shows you somebody who doesn't, it's hard to crack, shows you just how good the episode was. The second half of the episode especially was really good. I heard a little bit about the first part of the episode being slow moving. I didn't experience that. It was more setting up for what was going to happen in the second half of the episode. Usually what we've seen is that the first part of the episode sets up for the second half, usually how it does, but it usually is slow moving in order to set up the action part. Usually the first half of the episode is, okay, set up the story, set up all this other stuff. The second half is, okay, let's kick ass. Let's get to the action. And this is showing, it's kind of like a pattern. Sometimes in these animes, you usually see action, action, action all the way through, or drama, drama, drama all the way through. This is kind of like, okay, we have a particular way in order to tell the story. In the first half, let's get all the particulars out of the way. Then the second half, we're going straight into the battles. We're going straight into the point of this episode. And I really do like how they're doing that. Now, some people might not enjoy that sort of mindset, not enjoy that sort of storytelling. I'm actually getting used to it. I'm actually understanding that maybe the first half of the episode is going to be a little bit slow in order to set up the plot. And I know this might be redundant because a lot of people can understand that, okay, you have to set something up. You have to set the episode up. But a lot of people have been saying that the first half has been kind of slow. A lot of people saying this particular episode, the first half started a little slow, and then the second half. Speaking of the first half of the episode, the way that Usagi is jealous, I don't know if you can call it jealous, but she was jealous, at least in the first anime. The way she was jealous of Chibi or Mamoru being kind to Chibi tells me a good bit. It usually tells me that when the first anime hit and they drug on that Mamoru having the dream sequences for the longest time, I thought, will you please stop with that? Here, it's a little bit refreshing to see that it's Usagi that's not that comfortable. She wasn't that comfortable anyway in the first anime, but here it seems like she's really not happy with the way that Mamoru is gravitating toward Chibi, and it's not just because, oh, I'm scared of you losing you, it's scared that, okay, I'm suspicious of her. Not, I'm jealous of her, it's more like she's suspicious. And you don't usually see that. I haven't usually seen that sort of mentality coming out of Usagi in this series. Usually it's more, okay, she's seeing the good in everybody. Here she's haven't really seen the good in Chibi yet. Although some people have been trying to tell her, Luna especially, and for the most part, I think Luna's the one that's kind of getting into her. And I'm sorry, I'm looking at my microphone a lot. That's just how I roll with this. But the way that Luna's getting through it a little bit shows me that we're probably going to get to that point where she starts being the old Usagi in the way that she becomes the old Usagi. The way that she becomes that Usagi that we know or love when the chess match is happening. Yeah, that pumped me up. Like, yes! So, yeah, there's that. The snow attack, I can't remember. Shine Snow Illusion, I think it was called. I'll have to look back at it, and I'm going to get drilled over getting these things wrong. It was an okay looking attack, but I think the way that it just blew the putty monsters. I'm calling them putty monsters because they look like that. Remember Power Rangers? Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? That's what they look like. The way that it just blew those putty monsters away in snow, it's a cool looking attack, but not really anything to write home about. Let me put it that way. Not like the Burning Mandala that we saw in the last episode. That was amazing the way they did that attack. And of course, Berthier had the best looking attack by far. The way that she stood on one hand. That was amazing. And the way the water just came out of nowhere and just encased Mercury in that typhoon. You call it typhoon? I don't want to call it tsunami because, yeah, sensitivities. But the typhoon, the way that happened, I did like the way the attack looked, and if some of the Senshi had an attack that looked like that, in which Mercury would be able to stand on one hand and do something like that, that would be awesome. Please make that happen, Toei. Make that happen. Make an attack where she does something like that. Like, absorb that attack or something. Not Mercury's. Pluto's voice, if it sounds like that, I don't know. Hopefully, I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence about that because in the way it makes her sound younger than she is, but then again, she retains her youth even though she is been there. She has guarded the door of time for a long time, like thousands of years perhaps. So to hear that kind of voice, that young voice coming out of Pluto, unless that's Luna P distorting the voice in a way, leaves me a little bit on the fence about the voice in of itself. Now, it could be for the best, it could be for the worst, it could not be the actual voice we're going to hear when we actually meet Pluto for the first time, which I hope is soon. Maybe it'll be, again, I forgot what I just said. Maybe it'll be for the best. Maybe it'll be fitting for her. Even when she is like 1,000 so years old because of how long she's guarded that damn door. But for a person who's been alive for that long and has that kind of youth, yeah, she still looks good. And because she still looks good, I think you might want a voice like that. But she's also supposed to be one of the most mature of the Senshi. Since in her civilian form in Setsuna, she also is the oldest. Her civilian age is, I think, 21 if I've read the wiki right. I'll have to look at that. I think she's like 21, 22 maybe. She's old enough to drink alcohol, let's put it that way, in the US. So, I'm suspecting 21. Maybe someone can correct me on this. If you know exactly, before I look at the wiki, because I'm not going to look at this before I end the episode, look down, do a comment down below telling me about that. That way we can settle that. But I'm sure that she's the oldest of all the Senshi. So even in that sense, I'm not sure if she should have that voice. And again, it might just be Luna P and not actually Pluto. Remember when we had the original anime, at least in the English dub, she had a higher voice when her voice came through Luna P than what happened when they met her in person. So, there is that sentiment. Hopefully, we know one way or the other soon, because I'm willing to see what they do with Pluto, see how they do her character. We know how they're drawing her with the big earrings, and that sets me off a little bit. But yeah, that's one of my favorite characters. That's one of my favorites. So I'm hoping they don't mess her up. And so far, I'm on the fence about the voice and the earrings. But other than that, they're not effing her up so far. So, again, we know what is happening with Mercury. Now, she's in the dark pit thing. Dark realm. I'm not sure what they're calling it. Wise man's voice. What is going on with that? I did not suspect that he would have that sort of voice. But, again, it's one of those things where, okay, it's not that big a deal. It's just something that I've noticed. And some of the faces in this episode. Amy, she looked like she was going to kill Berthier. Put her head through the chess table. She put her head through that. The way when they showed the far off shot. Holy! And then Usagi at the end of the episode. Holy crap! If I didn't know any better, these sailors are going to murder you. Absolutely destroy the Black Moon. And once again, I always said it was the Black Moon that got under Usagi's skin the most. That pissed her off the most. It might happen here. It might happen here. And I've always said, let's see her dark side. I always am fascinated by very nice people who show the dark side. That's why I think the Dark Sailor Mercury angle in PGSM worked so well. Because she's so nice. She's so kind and caring. You never get to see her dark side. And people always think, okay, those who show the dark side a little bit more, you're not that interested in it because you see it all the time. Those are really nice and caring who never show that side of them. You're somewhat interested in, like, what if they did? What would they do? How would they act? Would they be murderous and stuff like that? And when I did my fan fictions, I always thought that Usagi's main thing would be when somebody goes after her family or her friends. Definitely her family. I thought of that all the time when I did my fanfiction. So people will gravitate toward that, and I'm wondering if they're gonna do something like that here. I'm wondering if that's the goal, to show off just how much Blackman really gets into Yuzaki's skin, but not in a way that makes her off to be so angry and so pissed off that she just goes onto a fit of rage and just wants bloodshed. She'll do it the way Usagi does it. Usually does it. She'll show her anger through her emotions. Or, not through emotions, through her actions. Obviously through her emotions. Anger is emotion. She'll show her anger through her actions. Like Serenity did before her. Alright. So, in that sense, that is going to do it for this edition of Sailor Moon Crystal, the reaction video, the media impressions. Thank you for watching. Please watch all the other Sailor Moon Crystal curators. I will link in the outro. That way. Oh, that way. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to end it here. And again, sorry if you hear some sort of clicking sound or whatever. XSplit was hating my mic for some reason today. And also, I apologize if you saw a little bit of a freeze during the beginning, the intro to the episode, the cold open, because I don't know what happened. Hulu just decided it wanted to throw up the episode or whatever. So anyway, there you go. My name is JD Shadow, and that just happened.